You were like silver 2, silver 1, something like that. Silver 2, yeah. All right, so let's see what you do. Wow, their whole team is pushed up in such a weird spot, which is normal at this rank. So yeah, just make sure you're always reloaded, because you don't want to like just have like 2 bullets left in your clip like that. Whenever you're just walking around the map, resetting the position, just always make sure you have full ammo. Here, all right. So like Tracer is first and foremost a flanker. So like your first goal should be to like figure out how you can actually position like behind them so that you can engage without them like knowing where you are, and without them like already like looking at you, and without having to use like all of your blinks just to like engage on them. So like what I usually do on this map is you want to like clear high ground. So you want to like walk through underneath here, and you want to like come behind them, because this is just the only way you can like flank them. And usually like in high ranks their supports will be like here, so the only way to like flank their supports is literally come up all the way from this route. But there is technically another way. You can like blink over here, but it requires you to like get all the way to here and then use all your blinks to go here without like taking any poke, which is like really impossible to do most of the time. So you're probably best off just taking this flank route. And as I want this to be more impactful than just a one map scenario sort of thing, you should be always looking on every map like what the optimal flank route is based on like the positioning of their team. Like if your primary target is their Zen, let's say they don't have a Zen, but let's just pretend they did, and he was set up here, you'd wanna try to like flank him instead of just playing main, so that you can actually I guess the way you want to think of it is the way you want to path is determined by who your primary target is. In this case, it would probably be their like Mercy. And you want to like figure out how to actually flank your primary target. So in this case, like walking main isn't really gonna do it. And then honestly, like most cases, walking main or walking like down the like main path with your team is just like a bad habit. So yeah, just be more mindful of flank routes, especially when they're not obvious, because it's very easy to like tunnel vision when you don't immediately see, okay, this is like the pathing I should take. But yeah, just try to be more consistent with like setting up in good positions, I guess. I did because my whole team was left. Yeah, but you don't have to really worry about your team too much on Tracer. You should worry about your team in the sense of like your engagement timing is dependent on your team, because you want to engage when they are. But other than that, you don't really need to be yeah, don't walk through long sight lines exactly. Other than like engagement timing, you don't really need to be too concerned with your team, because you can just kind of like pretty much play on your own as Tracer to some degree. You don't want to like be going in on your own. As I said, engagement timing is so important, but your positioning can be very abstract to your team's positioning. I guess like your team can be positioned pretty much anywhere you want, and it's completely irrelevant to what you're doing, as long like their positioning is much more important, I guess. Should be focused more on the enemy, I guess, unless on your team's positioning. Wait, what am I doing? I forgot how to use the replay viewer. There we go. Roger that. Yeah, sorry about that. The thing with VOD reviews is you always want to like I always want to like find the best way to explain something, and I end up just explaining the same thing like 15 times over. instead of moving on. All right, nice kill on the Moira. Another thing is just like maintaining good positioning when you already have it on Tracer. So like you're already in a good position because you were exactly where you wanted to be. You were behind them and on the high ground here, and you kind of just gave it up for no reason by blinking over here when you could have just like maintained your position. If they pressured you, you can just go down the staircase and maybe grab this mini and then come back up when they're no longer lurking around. But like just freely giving up the good positioning that you worked so hard to take is not necessary. Just because your team fight is lost and your team is resetting doesn't mean you need to entirely reset your positioning. If that makes sense. One sec, there's a cat who's stuck at the door. I'm gonna let them out of the room. Sorry. Okay, we back. But yeah, just like be more active in taking good positioning and then be more stubborn in like maintaining that positioning. Nice tracking on the Hanzo. Yeah, I mean, like that happens. Mechanics on Tracer are hard. Okay. Okay, another thing, you want to be a little more stubborn also when it comes to using your recall. Really smooth aim though. Yeah, he's actually like got good aim. Good smooth tracking. You want to be a little more stubborn too when it comes to like using your recall. Your recall is kind of like a last resort when everything else will fail. So you don't want to really use recall unless like you were for sure going to die here otherwise. In this case, you can just like blink either to the mini to your right or to the mega to your left and be absolutely fine. And you can continue to, you know, like shoot at the Moira while you're doing that. I'm back. I made pasta. Pog, dude. Wish I had some pasta. I know it's pronounced pasta to most people, but I'm Canadian. I pronounce it pasta. Some cringe. Yeah, just be more persistent in being behind them too, because you're kind of like taking this crossfire angle on Tracer by coming over here instead of just maintaining your positioning here and actually being on a flank, which is more ideal, because you can much more easily pressure whoever you want on their team without them being able to use resources on you as easily if you play behind them rather than like just to their side here. And also this has a lot to do with target priority, because you don't want to be up here like shooting at their front line. You want to be staying behind and shooting at their back line as much as possible. You didn't know what to do there, to be honest? Yeah, no, it's fine. But I'm just letting you know, if you play behind them more and you don't use resources so easily, then you'll do a little bit better. IMO. You can really pressure Mercy in this comp, also pay attention to Morphades. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And like ability tracking is something is a little more advanced, but like like I would say the biggest issue is simply the positioning at this point, the positioning and the target priority. This is a silver VOD, Pidkai. But yes, the pressuring the Mercy in this comp is good. Because they're going to be pocketing the Mercy, and the Moira is going to be focused on healing the tanks, so the Mercy's probably not going to get that much attention. But you only rewind when you hear Tracer gasp or feel too exposed. I say my rewind if I know like there is no other way I can live without using it, and that's the only time I use it. Or that's the only time I try to use it. Obviously, I'm not perfect. So I like how you are behind them now, which is good. Yeah, I like how you're poking them instead of like trying to hard engage because your team's not really there yet. But you are kind of you want to kind of just like think of what positioning is good and kind of stick to it. So you were like ideally on this map, honestly, in this situation, I would want to be up here on the high ground. But you're kind of using your blinks to just kind of like go from here to here to here to here and all these different places without actually like accomplishing much. What you should try to do is just like get in this position when your team is already engaged, so you don't get immediately forced out of it. You were here, but it was just like too early. So if you get in to this position where you're kind of behind them when your tank is engaging, then you'll be able to maintain this position instead of just kind of having to shift around from position to position with your blinks and not really getting anything done. Grass to bust the platform. Yep, exactly. You go from here to here to here, or from here to here to here. But yeah, pretty free. Yeah. But yeah, I would just try to focus on maintaining a good position rather than having to shift around like all over the place just constantly. And just be more hard focused on a particular target too. Like, I wouldn't care if you were like focusing the Ashe instead of the Mercy at this rank, because like a lot of people want to focus the pocket DPS at this rank. But like, just having any target priority in mind, that would have been really good if you like blinked around the corner first and then stuck. But it's fine. All right. One thing I want to you to think about too is in between every single fight, where do you want to be set up? Because you are like your team just lost this fight, so you're waiting for them to come back from spawn. This is the prime opportunity to be setting up for like the next fight, so that you're in a good position by the time your team is ready to go, since you didn't die and stagger with them. So like by not dying when a team fight is lost, you are giving yourself the opportunity to take better positioning during the time between team fights. But if instead you just kind of like stand around here, you are limiting yourself to like lower quality positioning, because like here you're pretty much just in their front line, which is where your team's going to be, whereas your goal is to like flank. So ideally you could be using this time to go up these stairs and just kind of like hang out here until your team's ready, and then you can peek around this corner and pressure whoever is who is there. But yeah, so in between team fights, just be more aware of no, that's not what I want to say. I want to say just like take the time in between team fights to set up for the next fight, and try to always set up like in a flank and potentially and preferably on the high ground in between every fight. Happens? What happens? But yeah, no, this is it's not bad. I'm just saying. Be a little more what's the word? just to be keep an eye open more for opportunities to set up in like flanks. Wow, neither you or that Hanzo saw each other there. Nice. I like how you're what you're doing here. Their Moira has no fade, so you should definitely be going on her. Like one of y'all said before, like paying attention to when certain heroes don't have certain abilities is very important. Like when Moira doesn't have fade, or Reaper doesn't have fade, or like Kiriko uses Suzu, or Ana uses nade, like or anything like that. Those are all things like your ears should be like listening for all the time. But yeah, like here you're just playing their front line a lot instead of like taking the time to flank. So just like flank more forehead. You had to get to her earlier. Oh yeah, yeah. Just flank more forehead. Yeah, I would honestly recommend, even if like you don't think you have the time to do it, prioritize just setting up in good positions over always being in the fight, because like you're just poking a lot with your tank in the front line when you could be just using the time to like take this position. So if you like took this position from the very beginning, that would have been awesome. Like so now that you're taking it, you can actually start to get some tracer kind of value. But now that you're aware, or that this kind of position is good. Holy shit, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. But now that you're aware that this kind of position is good, you can be more like aware of taking it more consistently in the future. But yeah, I wouldn't have dropped down there. You can just like maintain your positioning behind them. It's a big Hanun. Unlucky. Nice. Yeah. Unlucky. In that fight, you just kind of like had to set up on the flank a little faster before your team died, but it's okay. Wanted to blink back, but had none ready. Dude, it happens to me all the time. All right. I really do gotta go, Zerby. If you want, I can do another half of the VOD review tomorrow. But like, to be honest, I think like the only things you really gotta work on the most are just like positioning and flanks more consistently, and like maintaining those positions, and just like focusing on a specific target throughout the game that you think is like the easiest to kill, or is like constantly out of position, or you just think they're like the weakest player on the team. Whatever your reasoning, just like have a specific target in mind that you're going to consistently try to focus, and then like manage your cooldowns and blinks in order to obtain positions that grant you access to that target, essentially.